YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back. Pro Bowl voting officially open as we approach week 11 of the NFL season. I'm here to give you my ballot, who I'm voting for. Still a lot of season left, so we could revisit these things. We're going to have player rankings. We always update those. We're going to update them this week, top 5 each position at the end of the year as well. So somewhat similar to, Pro Bowl, who were the top players. Recently ranked all the quarterbacks from 32 to 1. That was last week. Up there, playoff predictions. We have weekly picks, power rankings, and a lot more. Anything NFL-wise you can think of, we got you. We got you covered. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on. Follow our Twitter. Very important live updates, talking during games. Fantasy Q&A, a lot going on there. Link for that Twitter down in the description comments. So the Pro Bowl ballot here. We got to go through the quarterbacks. To start, we're going to pick, what does it say? Yeah, it says 6 quarterbacks. So we're picking 6. I already know this is going to be tough to single out 6 guys for each position group. We're going to start with Tom Brady, though. But, last 2 games we've seen him, Washington and the Saints, not so hot, but I still think he's been the best quarterback this year. And I think Kyler Murray's been right with him. The problem is Kyler Murray just missed 2 games in a row. Hopefully he plays this week in Seattle, but I'm going to vote for Kyler Murray as well. And then things get sort of interesting here. I think you got to go Dak. I think we're going to have to go Dak here and Rodgers. All right, so I guess it's not too interesting. Rodgers and Dak, they haven't thrown for an insane amount of yards. Remember, Kyler Murray missed, I guess Dak missed a game. Rodgers missed a game because of COVID, but they've been extremely consistent, Dak and Rodgers. So we got 2 votes remaining. I think you got to go Lamar. It's weird, maybe I'm by myself. I think other people agree. Like when we're talking quarterbacks, if you're ranking quarterbacks, you always thinking their passing ability and how much production they get as a passer. So maybe that's why Lamar's a little further down the ranks than some of the other guys. But when you're trying to give the guys recognition, get them the Pro Bowl, you think about what Lamar means to the Ravens and what he does. Carries the team a lot, obviously, and his running ability. So I definitely think it's a clear vote for Lamar Jackson there. And then 1 spot remaining. I'm gonna go Stafford. The last 2 games were pretty bad for Stafford, honestly, but we're through 10 weeks. And the Rams now have their bye this week in week 11. We're through 10 weeks, and he's played very, very well overall. It just happened to be 2 in a row where he struggled a little bit, but he's been very productive. He's getting the Rams in a position to be contenders right now. So I think you got to go Stafford. Mahomes is heating up. It's weird not voting for Mahomes. It's weird not voting for Josh Allen. He's probably the next guy up there. Been a little inconsistent. Picked it up the last game we saw against the Jets. Herbert started off really strong. Lately, I've been a little disappointed with Herbert, but earlier I thought for sure I'd be voting for Herbert for the Pro Bowl. Kirk Cousins playing very, very well. 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, some clutch drives. So there's some guys that the way they've played, that touchdown interception ratio for Kirk's ridiculous. But there's some guys that the way they've played, it's tough not to vote them, but those are the 6 that I'm going to go with. Now we're on to the running backs, and it's a weird season for running backs. I think they took Derrick Henry off the ballot. I would have voted for Derrick Henry if he was on here, knowing that he's going to be out. I would have still voted for him. He's been the best running back this year. So he's not on here because he did recently get hurt. He's going to miss the rest of the regular season likely. Got to go Jonathan Taylor. He's absolutely tearing it up. You see the next in yards is Nick Chubb, 721. That's not even close to Jonathan Taylor. I know Nick Chubb's missed some time, but you definitely got to go Jonathan Taylor. Somebody that I probably got to scroll down for that I'm definitely giving a vote. Cordero Patterson's been ridiculous for the Falcons. Running back, receiver, hybrid, running the ball very effectively. Only 303 rushing yards, but he doesn't get as many carries as the other guys. But so effective in the passing game as well. Just an all-around weapon. It's crazy that he's the best playmaker on the Falcons offense. It's pretty wild there. So I got to give Patterson some love there. And the running backs really aren't running wild this year, so I feel okay kind of giving a guy that's just been all-around great this year. I really like what Zeke's doing this year. He's really he's really picking himself up this year after last year. He struggled a little bit, mainly with the fumbles. But yeah, he's been getting going. Big piece of that Cowboys offense. So we got 3 guys. I want to do 3 more. I think you got to go with Chubb. I mean, he's missed some games here, so you don't love that. But 721 yards is, easily puts him in second there. And then we have 2 votes remaining. This is where it gets tough. There he is. I want to give James Conner's got 11 touchdowns. He's been so good. Looks like he's improved his game. Going to a kind of a spread offense, pass-first offense, and he's improved his game. Very impressive. Yeah, 11 touchdowns. Very impressive there. So one more. It's tough. Dalvin Cook. Not running as, you see him miss some games there. Doesn't look as effective as he was in the past, but still obviously very solid. Najee Harris been a great rookie. I like the way Mixon's been running, too. He's got 7 touchdowns, 636 yards. I like when they get Mixon the ball in space. Kamara's been a little disappointing in terms of production, but still that great player. See him involved in the passing game, catching the ball out of the backfield, downfield. Eckler and Kamara kind of in the same boat. Darrell Henderson's been pretty good for the Rams, too. It's tough to pick one. I'm going to go Joe Mixon. I'm feeling Joe Mixon here. I liked what I've seen from him. When they get him the ball, whether it's outside on the ground or, through the air, I think he's been fantastic. He's got 7 touchdowns to go with the yards. Go Joe Mixon here. Receivers. Picking 6 receivers. No-brainers right off the bat. Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel. Been the best receivers in football. Cooper Kupp's been ridiculous. Deebo went off against the Rams a few days ago on Monday night. Ridiculous. See how special Deebo is. We haven't really seen him fully healthy for a year, and it's a good thing to see. Hopefully he continues to stay healthy. Knock on wood if you're with me. This is actually wood that I'm knocking on, so great news. Deebo's been fantastic. Got to go Devontae Adams. I think in general, we can agree that Devontae Adams is probably the best receiver in football. It's been Kupp and Samuel's year. Then it gets pretty tough to choose 3 more. I wish it was 8 receivers total, not 6. I really like Michael Pittman. I love the way Michael Pittman's playing this year. I think he's like another Mike Evans. I look at Mike Evans. What I always said about Mike Evans was, especially in his younger days, and I was starting to say it, where he's kind of that bailout type of receiver that you kind of, Winston always had 3rd down, 4th down. You just find Mike Evans, throw the ball up, he goes and gets it. But what makes, because there's a bunch of those types of guys, Mike Evans just happened to be better than those guys. But what made Mike Evans so special is you can get him the ball in the middle of the field. You can run him a slant. You can run after the catch. And there hasn't been too many guys like with all of that together, honestly. And I think Michael Pittman's kind of that new version of that. Give him the ball underneath, great after the catch. There's been some balls kind of just thrown up in the air. He had to go fight off the defenders, and he's been making some ridiculous catches. So I think a huge piece to the Colts offense there. So I really like the way Michael Pittman's playing. This gets really tough. I got to choose 2 more. Man, Tyreek Hill's got 855 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's doubled a lot, too. So, that just makes – I always kind of say he might be the most feared man in all of football, and that's something you got to respect because he's double-teamed and he's still able to do that. Now he's up to 8 touchdowns, had a good day against the Raiders. They didn't really double him that much, so he goes off. The problem is he does have some bad drops earlier in the year. I think 2 of them end up being interceptions, so I'm going to count for that as well. But I'm still going to give him a vote. Again, doubled so much. The most feared non-quarterback in football. 8 touchdowns on 855 yards. I got to do it. This is going to be tough to pick one. It's definitely between Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I like CeeDee Lamb a lot, too. Stephon Diggs been great. He's been underwhelming, but great at the same time because you think he could be at that one spot. I really love me some CeeDee Lamb when the Cowboys get him the ball in space. I'm kind of leaning towards Chase versus Jefferson. Chase got the yards and the touchdowns. He's been so good downfield. Right off the bat. Last couple games we've seen him, he struggled a little bit, though. Jefferson's going more and more, and you see Jefferson catch the ball over the middle of the field, run after the catch. He's crucial in that last game on 3rd down, 4th down. See him along the sideline, whether he's from the slot or from the inside. I'm going to go Jefferson. Just in so many ways he's involving himself, and he's played phenomenal these last couple weeks, so getting better on top of that. So those are my 6 receivers. Real tough. You can go – it's not all about the yards. Mike Evans got 9 touchdowns. We talked about Mike Evans. It's tough. That's another one, too. I can almost debate. Do we go Mike Evans instead of that? I was deciding between Chase, Jefferson, Diggs, Lamb. How about Hollywood Brown picking it up this year as well? Some of these touchdown machines down here. But those are the 6 I'm going to go with. Fullback. We vote for 6 fullbacks. I got to go with my guy CJ Ham. I'm going to go with the guys that are involved. Ricard, obviously, involved in involved a lot. With their offenses, they've involved the most. I don't. There's not too many on here. Jakob Johnson there. Some of these guys don't even get the most snaps. Janovich was hurt for a little bit. 2 votes remaining. We're going to go. I mean, Ingold's hurt, so that's why it's tough. He's involved. I'm going to give him a vote. I'm going to give him the respect anyways, so that's why it was tough. But he's been involved quite a bit. Saints use Armagh quite a bit there, so that's the fullbacks we're going to roll with. Tight ends should be pretty straightforward, I think. 6. It's 6 for everything. I don't think it used to be that. Yeah. I love the way Mark Andrews been playing this year. Travis Kelce's racking up the yards. Started off a little slow maybe for Kelce, but still very productive. I think those 2 are locks. I think Hunter Henry's right here. Touchdown machine this year. 7 touchdowns. Got 2 more than Travis Kelce. Give Hunter Henry some really picking up lately too. Definitely a threat in the red zone, obviously. 3 more votes. I think you got to go with the yardage guys here. Kyle Pitts has been fantastic. Gesicki, Pitt's playing tight end and receiver. Gesicki's been great for the Dolphins, and then 1 spot remaining. I guess the last spot, I think those guys are pretty straightforward. I think everybody should be voting for the guys I just voted for, my opinion. But I guess you got to go Waller here. He's been a little disappointing. Schultz has been great too. If Kittle hasn't been out, he'd probably be in there. Uzomah has been fantastic. If Dawson Knox never got hurt, we'd probably be voting for Knox. He's got 5 touchdowns. Uzomah's got 5 too. That's tough. Do I take away the Waller vote? Do I take away the Waller vote and go Uzomah? Yeah, if Dawson Knox didn't miss times, I think he would have been there. I'm going to keep it. But Schultz, Uzomah, Knox, those guys, pretty impressive. Tackles, I already know this is going to be tough to pick 6. Some real good tackles. There's real good ones. It's like a big gap. You got the real good ones, and there's a good amount of them, and there's a gap, and then people are just kind of rolling with guys that might borderline backups, Let's see these tackles. Let me scroll through, look. I already know it's going to be real tough to pick 6. There's going to be some obvious ones in here, if I can find them. You can go Trent Williams, Tyron Smith. He's been a little hurt lately, but been fantastic. Those are kind of the obvious ones there. Going to roll with Ramczyk and Tristan Wirfs. So I guess we're going with the obvious ones here. And then 2 more spots. Where is Michael Onwenu? Right there. Versatile. Very good for the Patriots. 1 vote remaining. It's going to be so hard to pick one more because we got – start from the top here. Guys that I'm thinking about, strongly considering here. Havenstein's been solid for the Rams. Eldon Jenkins filling in at tackle, extremely versatile. He's been fantastic. I do think he's better at guard. Brian O'Neill, Vikings right tackle, dominant run blocker, solid pass protection. He's been very solid. Let's see. Rashawn Slater, the rookie on the Chargers, been real good. Braden Smith for the Colts. Whitworth keeps balling out. Jedrick Wills very solid. I'm going to go Braden Smith. It's so tough. I really like Slater. Really like Brian O'Neill. We're gonna go with Braden Smith as the 6th. And those are the tackles. It's so hard to vote for the tackles. Guards shouldn't be as tough. The Browns guys, Batonio, they just got paid too. They got paid for a reason. Where's Teller? We can go with the Browns guys right off the bat. Yep, and then we can go Zach Martin, and we can go Quentin Nelson. The guards are a little easier, I think. Now it gets kind of tough. I got 2 votes remaining. Ali Marpet, probably. I got a sleeper in here. Let's see if I got room for him. I'm going to go Marpet. That's not the sleeper. We're going to go Marpet. Trey Smith's been a pretty good rookie. Joe Tooney's been solid in pass protection for guards. A couple of the Chiefs guys there, pretty solid. I'm kind of leaning towards. I like James Daniels on the Bears. I think he's very solid. We're gonna do it. We're going to go. Has he been penalized a bit, though? I think he's been penalized a little bit. More than you would like, but he's a bully of a blocker in there. I'm going to go with James Daniels of the Bears. Leaving some big-name guys out. That's where we're rolling with the centers. 6 centers. Probably some obvious ones. Creed Humphrey, Chiefs, rookie. Been fantastic. Lindsley, we'll go with the Chargers. Highest paid center going into from free agency, I should say. I like the way Bradley Bozeman's been pretty solid for them. Was he a guard center kind of going into this year? Ends up being a center, pretty solid for the Ravens. We'll go Jensen. Hudson missed a few games, otherwise we'd probably be voting for him. Treader, go whole Browns interior line here, and then one more. Go Jason Kelsey. There's a couple other guys you can go with though. Eric McCoy, the Saints. Kelly, the Colts. Yeah, it's tough. Leaving some. Biotish has been good. David Andrews. Yeah, it's tough to narrow it down to 6 actually if you think about it, because there's some really good guys. Hudson probably be in there if he miss a few games. But we're gonna go on the defense. Oh yeah, I never like how they do. So these are the defensive ends are. It looks like 4-3 defensive ends and 3-4 defensive ends. So these aren't all the pass rushers, just defensive ends. So we can go Myles Garrett right off the bat. We're gonna go Nick Bosa. Danico Autry is a 3-4, and he's been playing fantastic for the Titans this year, getting his hands on the ball a lot too, pass deflections. I'm going to go Danico Autry. So we went with 2-4-3 ends, then a 3-4 end with Danico Autry. Bengals got a little bit of a multiple defense. They moved Trey Hendrickson. Yeah, he kind of plays both those roles. He's been fantastic for them. Started to question the signing. Really, the only problem with the signing is that you can tell they really wanted Lawson instead, but they missed out on him, so then they panicked and got Hendrickson, even though he's a good player. But he's worked out very well. So I'm going to go those 4. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Just thinking of the DNs in my head. Yeah, in my head. So it's going to be, I like Brian Burns a lot. Big piece of that Panthers defense. So we only got 1 vote left. We got to go with one of the Raiders guys. Got to go. Oh, Emmanuel Ogbah's been so good for the Dolphins too, though. Ngakoue got Crosby beaten sacks. I think Ngakwe's been playing a little better recently. Crosby started a little hotter. Ogbah's been tearing it up too. Hubbard's been good for the Bengals. Crosby's, I think, towards the top of the NFL in pressures. I really wish, at one point pressures were underrated. Now they're almost at the point where they're overrated because people only focus on the pressures. But, pressure is great. Throwing the quarterback off is great. Having a high amount of pressures is definitely great. But, you got to turn some of those into sacks because it could be the difference of the quarterback getting the ball out on third down, crucial situations. So I would like for the sack total to start going up a little bit. You don't want to base everything off sack. I can't believe Jonathan Grenard has 7 sacks. That's pretty impressive. The Texans might have got them one there. I'm going to go Crosby. He's been pressuring the quarterback a lot. He's very solid in stopping the run as well. I like that. I like the. I mean, it's tough not going Ngakoue and Ogbah, but I like the 6 that I went with here. I think most people have the same. Oh, D tackles, I already know. There's so many good interior defensive linemen in football right now. Jeffrey Simmons is going wild right now. This guy's an absolute stud. If you remember, he was an elite prospect, but then got injured within that offseason, the draft process, so he dropped a little bit, still went in the first round. So it's really not that much of a surprise that he's doing this well because he was an elite prospect in terms of what he showed on the field. 7.5 sacks. He's really tearing it up. And you got to go Aaron Donald. Man, we're going to leave some really good guys out. I already know. It's not all about the production with these guys. We're going to get some of the guys that got to go Cam Hayward. Come on now. We got to go Cam Hayward, making an impact on almost every play in there. Yeah, he's been a machine recently too. Those 3 are locks. I mean, come on. They're absolute locks here. Jonathan Allen's been carrying that D-line group. Washington, he's been very productive. I'm going to go Jonathan Allen. And then we're going to leave some really good guys out here. I already know because I've got to go down the list. I got to go get a nose tackle down the list too. Started off hotter than where he's playing right now. But the man plays nose tackle, D tackle, gets that much production from, in the spot where you don't get that much production. So I got to go Javon Hargrave of the Eagles. It's killing. I love me some Leonard Williams. He's so productive there at the 3-4 end position. He's been so good since the end of last year to now. He's been so good. Buckner, some production, not crazy production, but more of a presence guy. You feel his presence when he's in there. Quinn Williams been solid. It's really tough not going Leonard Williams and Buckner. They deserve a vote. Chris Jones getting going now because he's playing correct spot, but I already know who I'm looking for. I got to go Vita Vea. Vita Vea, nose tackle, the Buccaneers. He is the best pure run stuffer in the NFL. You got to give the run stopping some love. That's the first thing you got to do. The most important thing is getting after the quarterback on defense, but the first thing an NFL defense has to be able to do is stop the run. Vita Vea, I mean, that guy does it by himself a lot of times, and that's the number one run defense. So you got to give Vita Vea some love. Kind of skimming through the rest of these guys, these other options, but I really like who I chose there, obviously. But man, it's killing me not to give Leonard Williams and DeForest Buckner a vote. But I think Hargrave's quiet and gone a little quiet recently. But I mean, you got to remember this guy plays nose tackle a lot too. For having that much production, pass rush production from that position, is pretty ridiculous. So you got to respect that too. So that's tough. I already know him. The linebacker's going to be tough as well. There's a lot of good linebackers right now. 6. Devondre Campbell's been playing out of his mind for the Packers. I mean, you see how much better the Packers defense is, even with missing some star players. And they've been lacking at the inside linebacker position for some time. They get Campbell in there. He's an animal in there. Parsons, you can argue, could be listed as outside linebacker or defensive end. So he's listed as an inside linebacker. He has production from all 3 spots, 6.5 sacks. You got to go with the rookie. You got to go with the rookie here. You got to go Micah Parsons. Where's Darius Leonard? You got to go Darius Leonard. 4 forced fumbles. He's a machine. The Maniac. Man, somebody really good is going to be left out. You got to go Demario Davis. Carrying that group all over the place. Blitzing. Filling gaps in the run game and coverage, equally as good across the board. Only 2 left. Oh, boy. There's some really good linebackers that I'm not going to get the vote for here because how many good ones there are. Scrolling down the list to making sure. It's weird that the Titans have, I guess by playing time, David Long's been the Titans' best linebacker. Not that I would vote for David Long, but he's getting to that point where he's getting the recognition. He looks really, really good. I just noticed that they got 2 other guys who were supposed to be the starters, supposed to be their best guys listed. Levante David. I think I know who I'm going with. I'm kind of just going through and making sure. Levante David. Fred Warner is very, very good. I think I predicted him to be the best linebacker in football. He's been a little underwhelming just because you expect like elite. Very solid last game, especially. The Falcons duo is very good. My prop and Devin White loved his season last year. I think there's been a few other guys better, though, all right next to each other here. And the end, Roquan Smith, Bobby Wagner, Eric Kendricks. I got to pick 2. I'm going to go Eric Kendricks. Arguably the best in coverage, and obviously he's racking up the tackles as well. And he's got 4 sacks. They've been using him in the blitz. That's interesting, a bit more than you would think. So it's a Roquan Smith versus Bobby Wagner. Man, Seahawks defense getting better, led by Wagner. Roquan Smith, they use him in the blitz as well. He's all over the place. Bobby Wagner's going to get his love. Let's give Roquan Smith some love here. So yeah, that's tough because there's a lot of good linebackers that we're not going with. Devondre Campbell, Roquan Smith, Eric Kendricks, Micah Parsons, Demario Davis, Darius Leonard. That's who we're going with. Outside linebackers. So you got, it's weird. You got edge rushers, 3-4 edge rushers, which are 3-4 outside linebackers, and then you got off-ball. Yeah, we got some off-ball linebackers. Some guys that might be playing inside sometimes too. Yeah, I don't like how they do this, but pretty easy right off the bat. You go TJ. You go the first 3 guys right here. TJ Watt, don't have to explain why. Harold Landry is another one of those guys. He's at the top of the NFL in pressures, but he's getting the sacks as well. He's matching them. So he's got 10 sacks. He drops in coverage a bit too. He's been fantastic. Matthew Judon playing like a defensive player of the year. He's all over the place, 9.5 sacks. And they got a kind of a hybrid multiple defense as well, where they'll drop those guys a bit, but he was dropping in coverage with the Ravens more. So you see him now with more reps just going after the quarterback, and he's extremely impressive. Tackles for loss machine as well. Hassan Reddick has been pretty damn. That's a sneaky good signing. I think you got to go. You got the most productive guys here. Hassan Reddick, creating plays there. Has been kind of their Swiss Army knife. It's been real good for the Panthers. Marcus Golden's been pretty damn good too. I was going to give some love to the off ball linebackers. I wasn't going to go with all edge rushers. We were just talking about the Panthers. Shaq Thompson has been ridiculous in my opinion. I think you could argue that he might be the most important player on that defense because how they use him. They kind of use him. He's so good in coverage. They blitz him inside, outside, almost line him off the edge sometimes when he blitzes, and it kind of opens things up for guys like Hassan Reddick. So I'm going to go Shaq Thompson. I was going to give another off-ball linebacker some love. Matt Milano, I was going to go. There's some good ones down here too. It's kind of weird how they do that, but those are the guys I'm going to go with. 4 pass rushers, 2 off-the-ball linebackers. Corners, I know this is going to be a tough one as well. We're going to start off with going Trevon Diggs, 8 interceptions. I saw he gets an interception on 14% of his targets, which is absolutely absurd. And there's some times where he'll get beat. He's not like a lockdown corner, but it's not all about the interceptions. I'm more of a lockdown type of guy, but if you're that productive as a playmaker, it means something there. And J.C. Jackson, we know he's that playmaker, but you kind of can throw him in the balanced category there as well. So I'm gonna go J.C. You got to go Jalen Ramsey. So damn good. So good in run support too. Coming up, play recognition. You got to go that route. I'm gonna go Kenny Moore too. Love me some Kenny Moore. Maybe one of the more underrated players in football. He plays outside. He plays in the slot. He was already known as one of the better slot guys, but having to play outside, he's a tackling machine for a corner as well. Playmaker at times. I got to go Kenny Moore. I really like his game. 2 more. We're going to leave some really good players out. Bradbury, Xavier Howard. Such a tough task. Kind of on an island out there. Man coverage a lot. Started off, giving up a little bit. Wouzier's been pretty sneaky good as well. Lattimore started off a little better than recently, but he's been very solid. It's gonna be tough. I know who I'm going with, I think, but it's gonna be real tough. Denzel Ward's, but it's gonna be really good. Tre'Davious White's obviously been locked down. Let's see. There's a lot of guys that are deserving of votes. I'm gonna go AJ Terrell. It's a lockdown corner, only in his second year. He's been fantastic for them. Been absolutely locked down. Greg Newsome, the Browns rookie, has been very, very good. Not going to go him, but he's been very good. Like I said, Denzel Ward. It's Xavier Howard's probably the guy that's the toughest that I'm not going to go with because I got to go Tre'Davious White. Absolutely locked down out there. Number 1 defense in football. But, man, like I said, Xavier Howard's extremely tough to go against here. Not giving a vote. Marshawn Lattimore as well. Marlon Humphrey, Denzel Ward, another one there. Man, some real good corners this year. Cam Hayward's been good for the Raiders, but those are the 6 that I will go with there. We're splitting up the strong and free safeties. A lot of teams that don't really have technically a strong or a free. It's kind of just split safety, but strong safety. Jordan Poyer, easy one for strong safeties. Not too many obvious ones, though. Budda Baker, I think, got to go with. Cardinals strong safety. Who's been really good this year? Jerron Kearse for the Cowboys. He's been fantastic for them around the box area. Just big-time plays, big-time stops on 3rd down, 4th down. He's been really good. He's not like a big-name guy. Xavier McKinney's been a big-time playmaker. And the Giants move their guys around quite a bit. So is he strictly a strong safety? I wouldn't say so. 2 more. We're going to go, man, this is tough. Savage has been pretty good for the Packers. Chuck Clark is a do-it-all type guy, pretty important to the Ravens. Adrian Phillips has been sneaky good this year, actually. He's been pretty solid, kind of an under-the-radar guy. Tyrann Mathieu, Jamal Adams. Harrison Smith just missed 2 games in a row. Kareem Jackson solid. Jordan Fuller solid. I'm gonna go Tyra. I'm gonna go Honey Badger, and I think Adrian Phillips has been really good this year. I'm gonna go Adrian Phillips. Savage has been pretty solid. Yeah, the Packers do a lot of split safeties. Savage is almost considered more of a free, but we have seen Amos downfield a bit actually this year, but usually they're considered the opposite, but it's a different defense this year. It's more a split safety look. I don't know if you can consider one more free than the other, but usually Savage is more the free. Free safeties, we got some big-time players. Kevin Byard has been ridiculous. Justin Simmons, these guys have been ridiculous this year. So good. Big-time playmakers. Micah Hyde as well. We went both Bills safeties. Adrian Amos, easy one there. Free safety is a little easier. Adrian Amos has been fantastic, even though he's not, he's typically a strong safety, but again, playing a lot of split safeties there in Green Bay where neither feel like free or strong. Amos has been downfield though a bit. We saw him last week in the end zone making plays deep. I really like the way he's playing, kind of a total package type of guy. I think those four, everybody should be voting for those four in my opinion. Now to two more, right? Yeah, two more. Kind of feel like I know who I'm going with. We're gonna go Derwin James, who's more to me is more as a strong safety as well, because he's so good around the box. You can man up with somebody, tight end, whoever it may be, press him if he needs to. So we'll go Derwin James, and then for the last spot, Jimmy Ward had a hell of a game last week. Jesse Bates been a little underwhelming, but kind of carries a lot in the back end. A lot of single high looks. It's a tough job. One of the tougher jobs, actually. Logan Ryan's pretty solid. I think I'm leaning towards – I'm going to go Quandre Diggs. Quandre Diggs in the back end a lot by himself, making plays back there because, Jamal Adams always in the box or rushing the passer. So, the Seahawks corners. The corners started picking it up recently. But a lot of responsibility for Quandre Diggs. I think he's doing a good job. So we're going to give him some love there. So those are the free safeties I'm going with. Special teamers. Long snappers next. I'm not the long snapper guy. We might need help in the comments for the long snappers. Kickers. We're going to go Folks, been clutch. I think you got to go Tucker, Younghoe Koo. Gano's been pretty clutch. Hit some long ones as well, 55. I think he's had quite a few of those, if I'm not mistaken. Bass has been good. This is easy for the kickers, and I'm going to go Boswell. Boswell's been very good for the Steelers, kicking a lot. I say it's easy, but a guy like Matt Gay's been very solid as well for the Rams, so I guess it's tough leaving him out. Making sure, I guess that's the only one tough leaving out. Some of the other guys been good too, but I like the six that I chose. Long snappers, we'll leave it up to you guys in the comments. I'm not a big long snapper guy. I don't know who's snapping the ball the best right now. Let's take a look at the punters. Oh, Dixon's been the best punter in football. Easy. I think, is this going by, oh no, it's sorted by inside the 20. I like the base thing a lot off that. Inside the 20. How many times have they punted? Average punts, average, you don't want to be punting too short. Obviously, you want to have the leg. We'll go Johnston. We'll go Martin. Gotta go Johnny Hekker. Come on. And we'll go Cook and Bailey, Huber, Harvin. Give me Huber of the Bengals. Return specialists. Jamal Agnew. Give me DeAndre Carter. Give me Deontay Harris. Isaiah McKenzie. McKenzie involved. I like the special teamers, guys that are involved in more as well, and that kind of helps. That's just me. I think we're gonna need to give Cordero another vote. We voted for him running backs. I'm a little worried that people are going to forget about him for running back because he doesn't have a whole lot of rushing yards. So we got to give him as much love as possible. He might be the best kick returner of all time as well. Definitely up there. And then Pollard, we'll give Pollard some love because he's been such a factor at the running back position too. So get a guy, that's been a factor in multiple ways. Some love here. Those will be the 6. And then the special teamers. Special teamers, I'm just going to go with guys that are also involved in other ways. I know for some reason we got to go Slater, who's mainly just a special teamer, but you got to do it. You just got to. And Rudy Ford. Rudy Ford's been good on defense for the Jags as well. Chris Board for the Ravens. Dennis Gardeck, who is a good pass rusher as well. Very solid pass rusher. 2 spots left. DeAndre Houston-Carson, you got a touchdown last time the Bears played, Monday night. Decent backup safety as well. And we going talkie-talkie. Let's do it. We're going talkie-talkie for the Browns. So is that it? That is it for my Pro Bowl ballot. Yeah, there was some leaving receivers off, some really good receivers, some tackles. Defense, yeah, the D tackles and the inside linebackers and the corners. So many good ones that I think are just playing at a Pro Bowl level that you just don't. There's not another vote. You can't give it to them. So, yeah, a lot of guys left off that were pretty damn good. It's just how it's going to go always. So, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Maybe snubs. Who did I snub? In your opinion, there's always going to be those. But, yeah, always have fun doing this. So, always looking forward to see your guys. Yeah, who would you pick? Some sleepers. Who you think picks it up at the end of the year here and gets themselves in. Always cool to see those comments. Always talking on Twitter with you guys as well. Link down below for that. Make sure you check it out. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on. Full NFL coverage here in season and off season. We got you. That's going to do it, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.